Hey, what's up everyone? I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night. I hope you will enjoy today's video, so let's just get into it.
If you have a habit of chasing people who don't value you, don't respect you, and probably don't want you, listen to this. I'm getting my master's in marriage and family therapy, and I heard this analogy, and it is just so good that I had to share.
And then she goes on for more than a minute about how famous brands have higher prices. Let's just get to the good part.
And I feel like there's a lot of people out there, women especially, who are lowering their standards and lowering their prices and putting themselves on sale, whether it be because of a perceived ticking time clock, a lack of a great dating pool. They're just opening themselves up to experience more people, and that is lowering their value. And it's really important to be aware of this if you're doing it, because if you're lowering your standards, you're out there chasing somebody, you're pursuing someone who maybe doesn't really give you the same energy back, the way you start a relationship is typically how the relationship will be maintained. So if you're lowering your standards, you're putting up with stuff that you're not proud of, you're putting a lot of energy into someone who's not really giving you the same energy back just so you can get into a relationship with them, don't expect the relationship dynamic to change once you're in a relationship, because this is the standard that you're setting from the beginning. You are showing them how you value yourself by lowering your standards, by accepting less than what you deserve.
And I am done. Value yourself, price tag, and standard. Not that those words don't even belong in the same sentence, but where exactly are you getting your master in marriage and family therapy from? TikTok? Nah, please don't answer that. I just hope at some point you'll understand the definition of marriage, or better yet, family.
20, 30, 50% of the women will be without a man. The men that are looking for those traditional values are starting to go overseas. The other half of the men are just checking out completely. They don't want to deal with women at all. So this is going to be a big issue that women are going to deal with in the future as their options dwindle.
The reason I'm even commenting on this video is because when I did a video in the summer about my grandmother and her sisters telling me to make my own money and live an independent life, I got huge pushback from a lot of men. There's about 1.3 million views on it right now and over 6,000 comments. And I would say 90% of the comments from men are completely negative and 95% of the comments from women are positive. But there were also those comments about going overseas to get a wife. So I looked it up and I'm like, you're saying that out loud? But hey, as long as everybody's a consenting adult, are in agreement with the marriage, great. But then another part of this video struck me because he said men won't want to deal with women anymore. They're just going to give up. My question is, what don't you want to deal with? Women who have their own interests and goals, women who want to work and be fulfilled, women who want to choose whether or not to become a mother, women who have thoughts and opinions about big issues and little issues. And then when he said something that women are going to have to deal with is the fact that men won't want them. And at the end, when he says this is a real issue that women are going to have to deal with as their options dwindle. Our options for men who want to keep us in traditional roles? Hard pass. But our options in life are actually increasing.
Are they now? What are exactly the options are we talking about? Yes, it's 2023, you can do everything a man does and call yourself independent. That's awesome. Compared to the 50s, that's a step forward. But you do realize we didn't just jump from the 50s to 2023. We lived through that every single day. Well, some of us at least. We adjusted because that was every day's life. We reached 2023 where, let's face it, in today's economy, you need two incomes in a family. So men pushing traditional values on you, it doesn't necessarily mean that they want you to be a stay-at-home wife, because let's face it, they cannot afford it. Going back to your options in life, that's fine. You can get an education, you can get a job or a career, you can be financially independent. But no one is saying that you cannot be married and do all that. You did all that, you went through all the options, you had all the success you wanted, or maybe not. But now you can only share that with your grandmothers and her sisters. And let's face it, you're a teacher. I'm not even sure if that counts as a career or a job, but with your paycheck, you don't have that many options.
The thing about being single, especially like in your 30s or getting close to 30, is that even if you have the closest and the best friends, you don't have a go-to person. All of your best friends have their go-to people. When you're younger, your best friend tells you everything, you know all the things. But when you're the single one, you're always still second best, and that is okay.
Yes, it is, because you now have options.
The crazy thing about dating is that men will never date a girl they think is ugly. When have you ever heard a man say, "Oh, I really like this girl. She has a really good personality, but she's kind of ugly"? Never. So why do we do it? Trust me, I've done it. You've probably done it.
And so did every single man you ever dated. When you consider 80% of men, at least the ones from the dating app, as ugly, were they really ugly or they did you a favor by dating you? And if we're being honest, no one is dating anyone for their personality. You need to get to know someone before you can tell their personality. And by the way you talk, especially about yourself, I'm gonna go with those ugly guys you've mentioned. They weren't really ugly. They were way over your league.
If he wanted to, he would.
But he didn't, because if he wanted to, he would have, and if he would have, you wouldn't have posted this video. That's a lot of would have, and I am pretty sure I've messed that up. Now, what I meant by that, the OF girls are back, obviously. Maybe since OF is blooming, this is what the lady from earlier said about options. Like never before, you now have one option to crush it in your career as an OF girl for $180 a month.
I don't know who needs to hear this, and please do not get mad at me for this advice because it is something that I wish someone told me many, many years ago. Choosing to move in with your significant other because you already spend all of your nights together is not a reason to move in together. Like, I'm gonna go as far as saying that it shouldn't even be on your pro list. It's just kind of irrelevant to the situation. When I was 23 and moving in with someone for the first time, so 6 years ago, that was the reason for moving in together. And it did not occur to me that that was problematic. Have the actual conversation around why you want to move in together. It should be because you want to bring your lives together and you want to start a new chapter and advance your relationship. But if it's for convenience, saving money, or because it just makes sense, then you should probably keep discussing it.
Yeah, but if it makes sense, I kind of want to do it. And I don't disagree with you, there are wrong and right reasons for doing it. But for me, that's the ultimate test that the relationship is solid. If 3 months in, no one is screaming out their lungs, "I hate your guts," then you may be looking at something long term. And maybe it's easier for me to say that because of where I live, and I can at any time just pack my stuff and leave or kick you out. And you also do have the same options. But I would never jump into a marriage without living with someone for a while. I would though start with a 1 week vacation or maybe 2 weeks, because if the two of you are still together at the end of that vacation, it may also be a sign you're looking at something solid.
Since you all had so much to say about my last video, I feel like I need to differentiate the difference between generally the worst zodiac signs, like was in my last video, and the worst male zodiac signs.
And I'm gonna stop you right there because there's no way I'm listening to this for 6 minutes. I'm gonna help you out because I'm nice like that. Coming in hot as the worst male zodiac signs, first place, Aries. I absolutely nailed it.
I'm telling you right now, the next time a man has a shit audacity to ask me to go around to his house before taking me out, I am robbing him. Oh, you've got a cheeky 3-5 in my pocket. You've got a stack on the floor in my pocket. You've got a lighter in my pocket. I'll teach you something about stranger danger. I'm leaving with all your shit. I'm leaving you high and dry.
As long as you're living, I don't have a problem with that. I keep all my valuables out of your reach anyway, so make sure you take the trash on your way out.
Apparently, if you can touch your elbows together, you're flat.
And that's gonna be the end of the video. As always, I do hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still appreciate you for making it this far. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.